Hello. Hope everything's okay. Haven't done a video for a couple of days because, and I think I say this at least once every year, but it's been the busiest time ever. This week has been the busiest week ever. And it's a shame I've not been making videos for YouTube, because one of the TVs that I repaired was probably one of the newest and most expensive TVs. It's a $3,000 Samsung TV, but it wasn't a very exciting repair. The fuse kept blowing in the plug, and it was a mega shorts on the board. I didn't even bother trying repairing the board because the boards were on eBay for £9, so that's why it wasn't an exciting video. But it has been very busy. I'm fed up with TVs this week, to be honest with you, which is why I thought I'd have a look at this monstrosity. This is one of those old, I think they were called PAR 36s, but this is the LED cheap Chinese version. An original good PAR 36 would cost you probably £100. This is probably 100 pence. I think you could buy these for about a tenner at the time. Just cheap Chinese LED. They do say that they are DMX. They've got the DMX. So those people that don't understand what DMX is, it means you can link several of them together and they all do the same thing. Or you can wire it up to a controller and make it do patterns that you program, is the simple explanation. This has got a slot for a fan, but I don't think it's got a fan in it. This is as cheap as you would possibly want them to be. So that's all you get. The DMX in and the DMX out. Now this is dead, not working, but the reason why it's not working is quite simply this. Look, but I don't know if it comes across on camera, but this is the cheapest, horriblest cable. I mean, I've had this to throw away, but yet because I used it a couple of times when I was a DJ, all DJs, because I was a DJ for 35 years, and your equipment becomes a bit personal to you. Even the cheap stuff like this, you remember night after night, weekend after weekend, wedding after wedding, wiring it up, setting it up, making sure it looks to the best that it possibly can. And those days are gone because you're old and fat. Anyway, but this is absolute rubbish. It really is. But so this is going to be more like a teardown video. Did I say that right? Tur. Sounded like I was going to say turd. Teardown, yeah, teardown video. And how is this held together? Well, to be honest, I can see some screws around the DMX, but that's just holding the XLRs in. Do you reckon that's holding the whole damn thing in as well? Well, let's take those out and see what happens. I'll put a new cable in this. I haven't got a use for it, but there's a friend of mine that's got... I've given him some disco lights today, actually. Old disco lights. He's got a little bar in his garden. I'm speaking very slow today. One word at a time. You see, no, that's just loosened up the XLRs, isn't it? Look, they've just fallen out now. I told you not to take those out. There was nothing to do with that. Oh. Exhibit A, my lord. And so I've given him his lights for the bar in his garden, and he can possibly have this. Even I've got about 5 of these. I would like to keep one, and I've got to change all the cables because they're not fit. And all I will do is I'm bound to have a box full around here somewhere of Vestel cables, old Vestel cables. Just cut the plug off. Not the 13 amp plug, the plug that goes into the power board, and then put it back together. That's all it's going to be. It's not an exciting video. Not very exciting. And there you see it, people. I do take it back. Chinese manufacturers, you have put a fan in it. Is it plugged in? Yes. This is not as badly built as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not up to, you know, Great Britain's standards, is it? But anyway, so the main leads comes in, and it looks like it's soldered under here. Look, there's the main lead. Or does it go to? Doesn't go to a switch. Doesn't go to a fuse. Do you think I should put a fuse in? No, I'm not going to use it. Only 2 screws used, one either side. Wow. Okay, let's just take this out then and have a look. What's holding it together? I bet you it is. And tonight's competition is, which one is live? Both brown. Both brown. Are you colourblind like? Anyway, so all I'm going to do is that and that. Pull that through, and there we have it. One cheap Chinese cord for the bin. Now somebody will say, well, you might as well keep the wire, it'll come in handy for something, you know. The amount of wires I've got that I just don't need to keep, they get in the way. It's going in the bin. It's over there. It's gone in the bin. Now what I need is an old Vestel lead. Like this. There we go. Look at that. That'll be fine. Chop that off. May have to chop it off here. And solder it on. Don't you think? See if we can get it through here first. Possibly not. What I'll do, I'll put some, what camera am I looking at? Neither of them. I shall put some hot glue just on that, just to keep it in place. Some people tie a knot. I don't like tying a knot. Is that what my mum used to say? Tie a knot in it. What did she mean? No wonder I never had children. Okay, I could do with getting a proper set of wire strippers. Have you got a proper set of wire strippers? No. Where's my good set? Okay. Trying to make sure I just don't catch the wire. And I've caught the wire. I wasn't really concentrating, was I? So we're an inch down already. I think I'd better use one of these. And I should really put my glasses on, shouldn't I? This takes a bit longer, but then you don't cut into the wires. I've just knocked my mouse over. I hate it when things fall on the floor. Oh, the other reason, incidentally, I can't remember if I told you. No, I possibly haven't. I don't think I've done it. The other reason I haven't done a video in a week is I had a bit of an accident. I fell over in the park and cried like a girlie. But I did. I fell over in the park and twisted my ankle. I mean, that sounds like nothing, doesn't it? Oh, did you? Oh, well, move on. Shut up. But it really hurt. You know, really hurt. And I'm without car at the moment. I'm getting a new car next week. So I'm walking around everywhere. So I couldn't drive myself to A&E. You know, everyone said, oh, just go to the hospital. They'll bandage you up in 6 or 7 hours. So I just had to pain it out, take some painkillers and do nothing for 24 hours. But here I am a week later, and it's still swollen, it still hurts, but it's not broken or anything. So send chocolates, champagne, beer, get well cards as soon as possible. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee as well as... Let me put my glasses on now, especially if I'm going to do some soldering. Right. It'd be great if I could screw that into there, and it'll hold it down while I do some soldering. Perfect. Switch my soldering iron on. My God, I got the right switch. I've got a bank of 10 switches above me. Switch 1 does the main lights, 2 does the side lights, 3 does the LED tester, but I haven't been using that recently because it's been causing the camera to freeze. 4 does the soldering iron, 5 does other things. And I've had it wired up for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, as I'm sure you're aware. But I can never remember which switch does which, yet I use it every single day. Is that because you is getting old? Yes, probably. The problem with this job, I find, for me personally, is there's not much soldering. I love soldering. It's probably why I got into electronics in the first place many, many years ago. You know, especially micro soldering. Now, we didn't know which was live or which was neutral. They didn't mark it, so I'm going to say that that's live, and you're going to agree with me. There. Do I need to put some hot glue on that? Yes, I think I do, but I shall do that later. Let's put this back in. Oh, the live and neutral is marked to this side. A professional would have checked beforehand, but I've got it right. I got it right. Yeah, I'm going to gunk that up with a bit of hot glue. It's the second time of using hot glue today. What is going on? Somebody came round with a... Well, actually, it wasn't electronic work. It was plumbing work. Their pipe for the dishwasher, the outlet valve pipe, had cracked. And they've been to every plumber's merchant's within a radius of 40 miles. None of them sell it. I think they could buy it online. But I just melted it with a bit of solder. And then put some of the magic. Easy wizzy, let's get busy. Yes, from Sooty. I remember Sooty. I'm that old. Just switch this on. It's on, isn't it? Oh no. Secret of doing this is heating up the glue first, rather than putting the heat directly on the cable and causing a short and an explosion and it go bang. It go bang. Excellent stuff that gets everywhere. But that's all we needed. Don't know what you saw of that mess, but it's all just gone round there, look. Just to keep it in place. Hot glue is not something I really use, but today I've used it twice. Right, that's back in place. I'm better put these XLRs back in place, hadn't I? Didn't have to take these out at all. I can't remember if these were what we used to call sound to light. Did they react to the sound? It does have a menu on them, but from what I remember, and of course I remember nothing, but from what I remember, the menus were very limited compared to some of the menus you got on the proper ones. Anyway, that should be it. I think there's red, blue and green in these LEDs. And I think on the menu at the back you can, well, I don't know, we'll have a play in a second. Got nothing else very exciting to do apart from put a TV stand together. I've got an LG TV stand for a 10-year-old LG that's never been put together. It's still in its original wrapping for a 55-inch LG that I was given today because I was after one and somebody on Marketplace had got one. Nice when that happens. Anyway, that's the lead. Oh, I will put the bracket back on because then it'll help me stand it up. Shall I plug it in like? Is it going to go bang like? Oh, well, it's doing something, I can see. Well, you can see a funny pattern on screen, but believe me, this is strobing like mad. There we go. That's called RGB. I don't know why it's called RGB if it's just, oh, you're probably not. It's just red and blue coming out on that one. That says RG. Maybe you can. Oh, I think I. Okay, now it's just gone blue. The red's coming back. Why are we not getting any green? Is this button just fading the red? Maybe this button will do the green then. Nope. Pressing all the buttons at the back just to see. There we go, that's all of them. That's red, green, blue. Let me press menu, see what I get. Well, this is demo. Okay. It's on demo mode now, people. If I switch some of these lights off, you may see the colours better, but I doubt it. Now, for today's standards, this seems very trivial and a load of rubbish. But when I first started DJing back in 1979, wow, 1979, it's strobing now, but the strobing's not coming off the camera, obviously. When I started DJing, if I'd have got one of these, just one, it would have been the centerpiece. Okay, so that's the demo mode. Oh, we've got a sound mode. So let's tap it. That'll be coming from a microphone somewhere, I would have thought. But I didn't see a microphone, did you? But there will be a microphone somewhere. Anyway. Just press menu again just to see what else it does. A036. That's a DMX, so it's not connected. And that's a slave. That's some kind of pattern. But somewhere on the RGB mode, here we go, RGB, red, so R126. I just want blues on. So if I just want the blues, turn the reds down, and I gather the reds are starting to dim. They are. Reds have gone. Oh, now they've come back up. That's gone red 242. So it must have been halfway before. Right, so it's dimming down, 23. I'll just turn it, that's it. So I've just got the blue on. Cool, that fan's making a noise. What a rubbish fan. That will turn the workshop blue. Anyway, that's made it safer. I think I'll give it to my friend for his bar, because he's been very good to me while I've been carless. He's been driving me to the supermarket and stuff. And I think he's going to drive me to pick up my new car next week. How nice. Nice to have friends. So this is no good to me, but he'd love this in his bar. This will be very good. And it's a bit safer than it was half an hour ago. Not much safer, but it's a bit safer than it was half an hour ago. Anyway, this was just a bit of fun. Thank you very much. Just something a bit different. Something a bit different for the weekend. A cheap Chinese LED light that has... Oh, I mean, I can't tell you how bright that is. Yes, you can. You can probably tell. No, you can't. But that is really bright. I know it's a cheap Chinese thing, as I keep saying, but that's bright, man. Thanks for watching. Have a nice weekend.